Hey Scythe 2 fans, Alex here. Welcome to map 25. Oh, looks like that's the end of the video. See you next time. It's so easy to die in this map, I kid you not. I've been having a lot of trouble with recording software and editing and whatnot, so I'm probably going to complain about all of that, but I'm watching the recording right now and I'm probably going to have to do the voiceover in parts. Just because I did the whole voiceover, the whole 30 minutes, and it lost that recording, lost that voiceover, so I'm not super happy right now, but I still have a lot of energy, I still want to get you this content, so here we go. Yeah, so let's talk about the game. When I was coming back from pressing that one switch, I went right. If you went left, some people do that and try to tackle that arena. There are basically two big arenas, and we're gonna tackle this one first. Now, there's like a million things to keep track of here, but yeah, we're gonna eliminate all these imps on the far ledges over there. Okay, and you see the Cyber Demon right there. That Cyber Demon was actually right behind you all along, and the reason that I needed to shoot, I fired a shot to wake up the Cyber Demon so that he would infight with all the Mancubi and Chain Gunners. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to get the Cyber Demon here to infight with all the enemies all the way back there, right? So the Revenants, the Arachnotrons, and once they strike him like they just did, you're good. You can do anything you want, basically. But that's always the concern. That's the main concern of this first part, is whatever you do, even if you're back here, like the Cyber Demon's always lurking, and you need to get him to infight. Okay, so again, we're gonna kill all these imps on the far ledge here before we tackle the Archvile. So I recorded with something called Wondershare Demo Creator, and you might have known that from my previous videos because they put a watermark in the lower right-hand corner of my videos, which is totally fine. However, they changed that policy to now the watermark is an entire horizontal banner that goes all across the middle of my screen. That is completely intrusive to everything, and I had to cut them loose. So now I'm just using OBS like a normal person. So yeah, we got the Berserk. I try to save things like Berserks and Megaspheres and Soul Spheres until I finish an arena or I finish an objective. That way it doesn't really matter what your health is. Kind of mentioned some stuff similar to that in the previous map, map 24, Gaia's Temple. I love all of these Earth Jungle maps, by the way. Even the dumb ammo conservation puzzles. Okay, now we're gonna want to eliminate this Mancubus because I don't want to be sniped. Okay, now I go in this room with a Revenant, but I do that to get some sellbacks. You're gonna need them. Okay, so now we're gonna enter a room that's gonna constitute kind of the first monster house of this map. And before that, I always love getting the Baron to infight with the Mancubus. And I also save. Yeah, I'm a filthy save scummer. What are you gonna do about it? Do you think those saves are actually gonna mean anything? Do you think I needed those saves to beat the map? Let's just say this. I've had runs where I didn't need them. Will I need them in this map? I guess we'll see. So who's gonna win? Place your bets now. Baron of Hell versus a Mancubus. I am always so surprised that the Mancubus wins, just because it's so easy to distract him by just firing. Okay, now here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get the plasma rifle, you're gonna run, and you're just going to start firing. Just hold down the button and you have like so many things to keep track of, right? You always have to be looking in your peripheral vision, and you always have to be strafing left and right and up and down. Preferably, you want to get all of the cacodemons like in that alcove to the right, and then you can just fend off the rest. So after a little bit, I actually switched to the double-barrel shotgun, again, just to conserve plasma. You were given like plenty of shotgun shells. Don't even worry about that. It's the plasma you need to be concerned with. You're not starved for them, but you just gotta be smart about how you use them. I like to kill the revenants first, just as a precautionary measure. So tomorrow's Mother's Day, and I'm a little upset because I tried getting my mom something. She lives in another state right now, and I wanted to get her Domino's because she really loves Domino's pizza. Unfortunately, they just won't order to her address. It's only 7 miles away, and I'm very confused. I called them, asked if they would make an exception. They said no. I went on Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, like all of them. They also wouldn't deliver, so I don't know what it is, but if I knew anybody in the area, I would just ask them to deliver it, but alright, these mancubi. I don't really play this in a way that I would call optimal. You'll see why in a minute. But yeah, again, you're not starved for shells. It doesn't matter. I don't know how I still got damaged there, but anyway, there's some revenants here, so be careful not to move forward too much, because then you'll take a rocket to the face like I just did. Also, I might have mentioned this, but I'm breaking this voiceover up into 5-minute chunks because when I tried doing it as one big thing, for some reason it kind of, something backfired, malfunctioned, it just stopped recording, and when I tried to cancel it, it wouldn't allow me to cancel, and then I had to force my video editor to quit, and then it just lost everything, so. I'm a little tired, but I'm still going to do the best I can to be energetic about this playthrough, because it really is a good map. I mean, it was very well designed. As the finale, extremely hot start, but then it's kind of fun. There are only 2 major arenas where I would say there's a high probability of death. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we will. I get a little impatient. Mancubus doesn't really do the best job of infighting today. Okay, now these gates will kind of lower, and you'll just kind of launch the rocket launcher to kill these revenants. And goodbye. And goodbye. Okay, now we're at 76% health. Remember that. After we press this switch and step foot here, you don't want to move forward too much because then you're going to be locked in. Instead, I just dip in, dip out. It's kind of funny because I actually punched this Mancubus out. You should never ever do that, by the way. Don't do it. It's very dangerous. They're very finicky, kind of RNG dependent. And when I say that, speaking of Mancubi, it's really stupid. I focus too much on punching stuff out, and I forget that this Mancubus is still there. Okay. Come on, Tubby. All right. Yeah. Now this big arena is kind of the first major problem, we'll say. And there's a lot of stuff that you have to do first in order to get to when it becomes a problem. But we're going to go ahead and Go inside, be locked in. Yeah, there's a Cyber Demon. He's pretty non-threatening for the most part. You want to take out this Archvile first, but you don't want to fire too many rockets at one time. It'll launch the Archvile off the platform, and then you're going to have to worry about it. So just one at a time. Okay. I still don't like these Lost Souls, so we're going to dispose of them. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. The Archvile was resting on a teleporter that's going to take you to the red key. You have to lower a bunch of switches in order to lower the teleporter. The other thing to keep in mind is that there are all those Revenants up there. Not there. Those are Hell Knights. Okay, I press the switch to officially lower the doors so that the Hell Knights can come in. But yeah, right on that raised platform, like right there where the Cyber Demon was, those are all the Revenants, and that's also where you're gonna find the red key. Really hate that Mancubus, by the way. Don't know how it got there, but we need to eliminate him immediately. I don't feel like getting sniped again. Okay, pressing that switch is going to lower the doors so that you're going to have Barons of Hell. Now, they're going to enter on the opposite side over here, and our goal is to get the Cyber Demon to infight with them. The reason is to distract the Cyber Demon long enough to where we can kill all those nasty Revenants. Okay, so it takes way longer than I want to admit to get the infighting started. Like, come on. There's a big target painted on this guy's back. You can't do one thing right. Now, as far as these rockets go that the Cyber Demon's launching, you might think that you're safe and that he's not going to be able to strike you. I would say, 95% of his rockets are not going to be able to get you. But that one was among the 5%, so don't be an idiot. Just always have the good practice of strafing left and right. Okay, I think he's finally infighting. Okay, so we have an opportunity now. Bye-bye, Revenants, except we actually don't get all of them. Thankfully, there's enough splash damage from the Cyber Demon's rockets so that more Barons are mad at him. We're gonna have to somehow deal with that last Revenant, and it's not comfortable. Oh well. Alright, come on. Come on, skeleton. Whatever. Alright, I think I just end up giving up. Ooh, okay, more infighting. Great. Anyway, I just finished all my finals for this semester of grad school, and I'm so happy. I'm not usually the type of person that's super overly concerned with grades and whatnot, but I've always believed if you put in the work, you put in the effort, the grades should always follow, and it was touch and go for a bit, but I think that finally came true, so. Okay, finally, these Revenants just need to die. You can see just how well the monsters are placed, just in this episode alone. Like, every possible angle was covered. Okay, so Cyber Demon can be taken out now. Remember what I said about how the rockets usually don't go up here, but why risk it? Especially if he's really close to the ledge, you're pretty much safe. I've never had it to where he's super close to the ledge and a rocket takes me. It's whenever he's farther away that you need to be careful. Okay, so this switch is going to unlock that room, which is going to be filled with Archies. Yeah, those arch files are nasty. I emptied all my rockets and it seemed like that didn't do anything, so I take care of them with the plasma. They aren't actually super dangerous as long as they're confined to this area, because all the other monsters that we eliminated, like the Barons and the Mancubi and the Demons, those are all in different areas of this arena. So as long as they're stuck here, which they are because they want to kill you, you're good. Plasma pack, and the last switch is going to lower the teleporter. So here's what you're going to do. Remember when I said that there are like 2 problems in this map? This is the first one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the teleporter and we're going to fire and unlock that switch. You heard a door open? That door holds a megasphere, but that doesn't matter. We're not going to use it right now. Here's what we're going to do. Watch. Get the hell out of there as soon as you can. Do whatever. Have the plasma on standby. So there's a red door. Unlock. Jump down. Press this switch, and we're going to go all the way to the top of the staircase and touch it so that all these monsters lower. And there's a BFG that I did not grab. I'm so upset that I didn't grab that BFG. Normally I do, but that's okay. We don't actually need it. What we're gonna do now is go back to the first arena. We're gonna go back to the first arena and we're gonna take care of all of those monsters that spawned in. All right, so you know the drill by now. Just kind of strafe right. Let the monsters try to kill you, then they kill themselves, and then strafe left. I don't like that. How these energy weapons or missiles seem to penetrate the wall. That's not really fair, but anyway, it's gonna kind of be like this for the next couple of minutes, so I'm actually just gonna kind of skip ahead to when the herd dies down. See you shortly. Okay, looks like the herd died down. And now we're gonna kill any more stragglers. I'm a bit annoyed because this is day 2 of me trying to do this voiceover. Hopefully there will not be a day 3. But yeah, for some reason it just doesn't recognize the Yeti microphone that I'm using, so I have to exit out of the application and open it back up and do a whole bunch of other stuff, but okay. In my opinion, that was kind of one of the most difficult parts of the map. There are really only 2, and we just cleared one of them out. So it's raining today, in Florida of all places, which is not really unusual. It just hasn't happened in weeks. But I might go out a little bit later to do laundry and then get Domino's. Used to be a tradition every weekend because there's a Domino's right next to the laundromat that I use. I mean, I couldn't help myself, right? So for those of you curious, my go-to Domino's order is usually, like, ideally, it's a large thin crust or sometimes New York style pepperoni and sausage. Sometimes I'll get their new stuffed crust, which is extremely good, and I will also get an order of their cheesy bread, specifically the cheese stuffed one. Haven't tried the pepperoni stuffed one. That always just seemed a little much, you know? Like, I'm already eating the epitome of diabetes and cardiac failure, and I'm, in addition, getting bread that has stuffed cheese inside of it. Why tempt fate, and why, like, you know, spit on fate by stuffing it with pepperoni? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm essentially going to get the Cyber Demon to infight with all this mess. I think there are like 2 or 3 Cyber Demons present, so... And what ends up happening is actually kind of really hilarious. It reminds me of Doom 2 Map 8, Tricks and Traps, where you had a Cyber Demon against a bunch of Barons. And of course the Barons won. And in this case we have Hell Knights. And you're going to see that again, the Hell Knights are going to win because they scratch him to death. You can see me laughing. That's genuine emotion right there. I thought it was actually funny. I think there's another Cyber Demon. For him, what we're going to do is we're going to lure him over to the other side. Yeah, so we're going to get him to infight a little bit. But also, we're eventually going to go to the other side here. I mean, at some point. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So by heading to the other side here, as soon as we hear the Cyber Demon, and you'll hear his breathing, then what we're going to do is run over and jump down. And then we should be able to take care of everything else with the BFG, which I'm still upset that I didn't get. Now you have to be careful when you run off to this area. Sometimes there's a Cyber Demon that just didn't get the memo. I like this last little infighting. Okay, and now the Cyber Demon can die. We're basically going to kill the Arachnotrons, the Mancubi, just all of them. You'll see we have so many cell packs, like way more than we need. Okay, that was a stupid hit, but it doesn't really matter. Now, it's kind of a dumb move to use a rocket launcher here, especially with the, what do you call it? Auto aim? Yeah. So the auto aim is going to end up biting me in the butt here. Yeah, you really don't want to do that. You really want to be using the double barrel shotgun, or the plasma would even be better. I just didn't see these shells right lined up against that wall. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to empty your rocket launcher right here. The splash damage should take out all 10 of those revenants, and you're gonna thank me for that later. You can already kind of see that there's a yellow key right there. Doesn't matter how many rockets it takes, get rid of all of them. I love how in this map you can actually, so there are 2 main keys, right? The yellow key and the red key, and you can see both of them far before you actually go and get it. It's like taunting you. It's almost like, not like Gaia's Temple. I guess in Gaia's Temple, I really enjoyed how the key would like flash on a pedestal, symbolizing that you were allowed to get it after you beat a Cyber Demon, of course. But this one, it's flat out just taunting you. Okay, these rockets are annoying. Alright, I spend way too much time trying to get rid of these revenants. Okay, it's not the most important thing in the world, but I play it extremely cautiously. So, what's everybody else doing for Mother's Day today? I called my mom yesterday and I was like, hey, I tried. I'll owe you one when I come home for the summer. Okay, now we're ready to go to the left and tackle this area. First thing to note, there's going to be an evil marine dude. So you want to take him out, toot sweet. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I think I'm looking for more ammo. Okay, so here's how you kind of do that. Ready? It's gonna be right here, so we're just gonna fire one shot. Okay, now There's a Baron and some demons. Okay, there are also going to be 4 Barons, like when you go into that little room over there. And this is kind of evil because there's a line death allowing 2 of them to teleport right in front of you. Those kind of bad shots on my part, but that's okay. This is kind of, you know, not necessary, but just take him out with the shotgun. Now, occasionally, the enemies to the left, the Revenant just sniped me, but sometimes the Cyber Demon will actually infight with them. You just want the Cyber Demon in the beginning to infight with someone. Okay, so those 2 Archies are actually not too bad, as long as, you know, lure the Barons away so that there's no chance of resurrection. These ones are annoying. Dang. Okay. Now there's 1 Mancubus, and then that's just about it for this area. Okay, now, past this door, which you're more than welcome to open at any point, there are 2 evil marine dudes, so I just pre-fire. But I guess one of them is still kicking, but it's funny because I think he like goes around and shoots the Revenants, and they get sick of him and kill him. Next, what you want to do, there's an Archvile here surrounded by a bunch of Hell Knights. You want to take care of the Archie first, clearly. It's just so annoying because it moves around so quickly, so you're going to have to wait for it to try to strike you, and then usually you can get 2 shots off, right? 1 shot as it's trying to incinerate you, and then you hide, and then as soon as it's done, then you, like, you know, strafe back into the opening and shoot it. So I might demonstrate that, yeah. So I shoot it, and then immediately shoot it again. It's just not something that you want to deal with, especially when you eventually get up to that area. It's tough because the Hell Knights are being meat shields for it. Also, can you imagine what would happen if Archviles could resurrect other Archviles, or Cyber Demons, or Spider Masterminds? There'd just be no winning the game. I mean, I feel like it wouldn't be a problem in most Doom 2 WoDs until you get to the more difficult ones. Okay. Now, when you descend the stairs, it's another trap, so just kind of have your BFG ready. Again, that's why I really recommend taking the room to the right first. You want to take that one on just because you get the BFG. And now if you want a little secret, it's not official secret, but lower that plasma by pressing on the switch. Yeah, and there is a soul sphere there, and I also think I go to the beginning area and get a regular armor to at least have 100% armor. Okay, that's about as good as I'm gonna get. And we're gonna tackle our last arena, and this one is problem number 2 in this map. I said there are like 2 problem areas that have a high likelihood for you to die. One was after getting the red key, that was of course trapped. And then this one, you know, there are 4 chain gunners. I usually take them out with 2 rockets, but I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, I think there are 3 Mancubi. Now, eventually you're going to be locked into this arena, but not until you jump down to the blue lake area. So as soon as you jump down there, you're pretty much pretty much locked in, so you better be ready. I recommend having as much health as possible. Okay, as much health, as much armor, and as much plasma. Okay, we're not going to use the BFG yet. I'm talking like the plasma gun. Okay, so there are plenty of rockets here. Now, what you're going to want to do after you press this switch is run. You're going to want to run to this room right here. And unfortunately, you saw, yes, I did die. It's really unfortunate because the first time I actually recorded this and used the other software, the Wondershare demo creator, whatever, I managed to beat this level without dying once. But yes, here's what you do. You go in this room, you go in this room, you have to touch that room for the gates to lock you in. You want to be locked in to contain the enemies. Because there are evil marine dudes, revenants, demons, and they're all kind of blocking your path. So that's why I recommend having as much health as possible and as much armor as possible, just to minimize the chance that you will just die. Okay, now these revenants aren't really a problem. They're contained to their respective ledges for the most part. And when you press the switch, that's going to open the room to get the yellow key. Now, remember those 10 archvials I told you to take out. If you did not take them out, what would happen is all 10 of them in this locked, confined room, and they're still all guarding the yellow key. There's no chance of you moving past them to get the yellow key. You'll have to deal with all 10 of them somehow. And if you have the BFG, great. But if not, then it's good night for you. All right, now, hopefully they're going to infight. I'm actually just going to circle back in a minute. But we have the 2 keys. We have the red and the yellow key. This 3rd key is like a formality. I don't really know why you need it. I know some maps require the use of 3 keys to work effectively. I don't quite understand how that works, but yeah, we're just going to go up and kill any remaining stragglers. And yeah, we're basically done with the map, guys. As far as monster count goes, you want to make sure that you've killed all enemies except 2. Well, kill all of these enemies, but as far as your counter goes. Alright, now sometimes not all the enemies spawn in, so you're actually going to have to press that switch again if you don't see, or if you don't kill all but 2. Okay, so what am I talking about with that all but 2? There are 2 more enemies. They're actually not that bad. One of them's an archvile. And the other one is a Baron of Hell. Now, if you've run out of rockets, Eric Alm gives you a rocket launcher and a little bit of ammo, because this is kind of the only way to exit the map, the finale to the Earth Jungle episode. You have to commit seppuku to lower yourself enough to go through the portal. So this was a fantastic map. I draw this out a little bit because I'm super proud of the 100%. Even though I did die a couple of times in that second problematic area, it was all good. I'll see you in the next episode and have a great rest of your day.